I'm Paul Salter. I've been with SA Power Networks for 30 years and I'm the Manager for Operations Delivery Regional.
I'm Dana Rankin. I've been with the company 7 years and I'm the Manager of Strategic Projects within the Corporate Strategy branch.
What you're about to see is a video incorporating a lot of people throughout the organisation, giving you information about gender diversity and why it's really important to our business.
I think for me it's really great for us to be able to showcase the areas in which we've been successful with gender diversity and for people to embrace what we're doing, and it will get people thinking and get people having a dialogue across the business.
Over the years, for those that have been around for a while, we've had this view that there's certain work for men and certain work for women. And look, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. We were brought up on that. But time for that has changed, and it's probably well behind time for us to get on the front foot and do something about it.
So I started with the company back in 1986.
So I'm approaching 30 years service here within the company.
I started in 1982 and there's been lots of changes in that time.
Back when I started, the only females who probably had were out in the front office at the front desk, and it was a really blokey thing.
Most of our work was carried out on ladders. Most of our excavations were done manually. Basically it was a fairly labour-intensive role.
We have a lot of equipment now which makes the work so much safer and easier for all employees.
We have work procedures and like that everybody should follow, not just females, so it doesn't really depend on your strength so much.
When first starting, I didn't really think about the fact that it was a male-dominated industry. I just sort of come in. The most nervous part about it was just starting a new job. I think it was a bit of an adjustment for the others, but we got there.
There were some concerns over, the culture within the workplace and whether it was going to change the way we interact as a gang or a crew or a team.
Mainly in the trucks was a male-dominated conversation, so some of those were concerns.
You know, there is a bit of banter and stuff like that goes around, but I'm more than happy to be involved.
I do really enjoy the team environment. I play a lot of team sports.
We found that Kate was able to perform the work like anyone else. She fitted into our group quite well. I don't think things have changed too much at all.
Probably the only thing that I've had to give consideration to and maybe change my behaviour slightly is in relation to my language. Other than that, it's just another day in the office.
A lot of people are surprised when I tell them what I do. A lot of people don't understand what a linesman is anyway, so you have to explain the role, and once they understand, they are quite surprised that there's a girl doing that role.
I have the advantage of being a relatively confident person, so I'm not concerned when people say, oh, it's interesting to see a young lady doing this.
People are a little bit shocked, especially when I go out on the weekends. My licence is a HR licence, so when I go out and have to hand over my licence to even security guards, they sort of go, oh, you're a truck driver. Like that's a bit strange.
To break through some of those culturally embedded traditions is quite difficult. When you don't see anyone who looks like you doing the thing that you want to do, you innately think that's because you can't or you shouldn't.
We all, including myself, have unconscious bias. It's very important to understand what the unconscious bias is so that you can actually do something, compensate that bias so that you can actually make the correct decisions going forward.
Now we need more people in role model positions to let people realise that they really can do anything they want.
This is probably the most exciting time to join our industry. When you look at the amount of change that is actually coming with new technology around solar, battery, electric cars, we should give that opportunity to all to get involved in.
When you're creating a new world in the sense of problems that you haven't struck before, you've got to be innovative. And what that means is new thoughts, a new way of doing things.
A work group may be in a rut and just doing the same old thing day in, day out. When a new person approaches or enters our work group, they come in with questions, and probably the most obvious one is why? Why are you doing that? And you think, wow, we've always done it like that.
There are studies that show that a team works best when the team is made up of diverse elements. And that's because not everyone thinks the same way.
And my interaction with the field people is different from that of my male colleagues. Part of that is gender, but part of it's also personality, which might mean interacting with someone differently in order to get a different sort of information out of them, or it might be just looking at a problem from a different perspective.
Diversity gives you a better chance of dealing with problems that may not have arisen till now.
We will always be looking to recruit the best people into the organisation. We've always done that, but what we're actually doing is broadening the pool of people that we're actually looking at.
Everyone just works as a team, and there's not ever been, well, you can't do something because you're a female. It's just, well, you're part of the team, so everyone chips in and gets it done.
I come to work as I would every other day in any other job that I've ever had. The guys do treat me as any other apprentice, and I hope that they see me as just part of the team.
And Nikita's passionate about what she does. She's what you would expect in any apprentice.
Really what we're looking for now is to have an organisation where anyone can actually work in SA Power networks if they wish. And having got here, that they can actually reach the potential within the organisation.
The ultimate goal would be to finish my apprenticeship. This company does offer a lot of opportunities to move up through the chain.
Eventually perhaps I would like to look at a management sort of position, but for now I'm quite happy just to get my apprenticeship finished and work on the line and see where it takes me.
I'd love to get into leadership, and within this business there are so many opportunities in different areas to progress in that way. But all the while, the work you do keeps people's lights on.